Bleeding Love, a short love story inspired by the song of the same name by Leona Lewis. Chapter 4. Dinner and Desires. The evening arrived, cloaking London in a soft blanket of darkness, the city lights twinkling like stars fallen to earth. Charlotte felt a flutter in her stomach as she looked at her reflection one last time. She was stepping into uncharted territory, and the thrill of it made her heart race. Maxwell, on the other hand, was a picture of calm, his pulse steady, his mind focused. However, under this composed exterior, his heart pounded with anticipation. He was about to spend an evening with a woman who had inexplicably entranced him, and he couldn't wait to see where the night would lead. Maxwell arrived at her doorstep in a sleek black car, looking dashing in a crisp navy suit. Charlotte, dressed in her elegant black dress, looked breathtaking. The way he looked at her made her feel desired, special. There was a glint in his eyes, a promise of a memorable evening. They headed to a quiet, intimate restaurant in the heart of the city, their conversation light and full of laughter. The air between them was filled with anticipation, the lingering glances and the subtle touches only intensifying the connection between them. Throughout dinner, they exchanged stories, flirted subtly, and shared knowing smiles. Their chemistry was undeniable, their connection almost palpable. The atmosphere was charged with a mix of excitement and tension, a dangerous cocktail that had their hearts racing. As Maxwell looked at Charlotte across the candlelit table, her eyes sparkling with mirth, he realized just how taken he was by her. There was an aura about her, a magnetism that drew him in. Her laugh was infectious, her intelligence alluring, and her beauty mesmerizing. Charlotte, on the other hand, found herself equally entranced by him. The way he spoke, the way he listened, the way he looked at her, all made her feel like she was the only woman in the world. There was an air of respect around him, a sense of power and control that she found incredibly attractive. The evening went by in a blur, the hours passing like minutes. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, a dance of words and emotions. They shared secrets, dreams, and laughter, the connection between them growing with each passing moment. As the evening wound down, they found themselves reluctant to part. The night had been magical, filled with sparks and unspoken promises. Their hearts bled with a sweet, intoxicating love, a feeling neither of them had expected but couldn't deny. Walking her to her doorstep, Maxwell took her hand in his, sending a jolt of electricity through both of them. There was a moment of silence as they stood there, their bodies inches apart, their hearts pounding in sync. "Thank you for a wonderful evening, Charlotte," Maxwell said, his voice barely above a whisper. His gaze was intense, his hold on her hand firm yet gentle. "The pleasure was all mine, Maxwell," she replied, her voice steady despite the butterflies fluttering in her stomach. There was a moment when it seemed like he might lean in, close the distance between them. The anticipation was a sweet torment, their bodies aching for the connection. But he held back, releasing her hand and stepping away. "Good night, Charlotte," he said, his voice carrying a hint of regret. He gave her one last lingering look before turning around and leaving. As she closed the door, Charlotte could still feel the warmth of his hand in hers. The anticipation of their almost kiss lingered in the air, a silent promise of what was yet to come. That night, as they lay in their respective beds, their minds were filled with thoughts of each other. The memory of their intimate dinner, the tension-filled goodbye, the promise of future encounters. It was an intoxicating blend of excitement and anticipation, a sweet ache of desire and longing. Their hearts bled with love, a feeling they were beginning to accept a passion they were eager to explore. The dance of desire was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. Bleeding Love is comprised of 6 chapters. To watch or listen to all 6 chapters, why not subscribe to the Romance Diaries? Or if you want to experience your own real-life romance, why not visit one of our sponsors by clicking on a link in the description. The next chapter is chapter 5, The Stirring of Hearts.